And just in case you didn't know, her hair is a glory unto her. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Today we getting into this mixed textured Boho Knotless braids. So I'm going to be using Shining Jam and also the Neat Braid Shining Gel. And you're going to need, of course, your comb, some hair ties, and a little bit of braiding hair. So for the best results when styling hair, you want to start with clean hair. Okay, you want a fresh canvas. And this hair that we're going to be using today for the boho pieces is from YWIGS. They sent me this bulk hair, y'all. I'm super excited to use it. Well, I was super excited to use it. Of course, I'm doing the voiceover after, but they sent me 4 bundles. I have 2 bundles of loose deep wave and I have 2 bundles of the water wave. Okay, and all of the bundles are 20 inches. But y'all, I just want to get into this hair. Okay, look how just luscious this hair looks. Look at the bounce. I mean, it has so much shine and luster. Okay, it's very good quality. This is the water wave right here. And I was super excited to install this hair because look at the quality. Look at that bounce. I mean, it's just giving. Now we're going to move on to breaking down the hair. So I'm using this yarn rack or a braid rack, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just breaking down what my daughter is breaking down, small sections of the braiding hair. And now I'm showing you all how I like to separate my boho pieces. So with this comes so many different ways. Here you'll see I'm going to pull individual pieces from the whole while leaving the bundles or the tie still wrapped around the bundle. Okay, so this helps keep all the hair together so it wouldn't get too messy. All right, and to me it was kind of making the hair a little frizzy, so I said I wanted to go ahead and release the wrap and just break it down how I normally do. Here I was showing you another technique where I see some people use a little jam to keep the hair together. So try the different ways to see what works best for you, but I like to individually separate the hair just so I can grab it and go as I braid. So now I'm going to start pre-parting her hair. And if you notice, I started that with a basic middle part, okay? The key to the sauce of pre-parting, you want to start off with that middle part as your base. This keeps everything nice and centered. And so when you get to the top, you won't have to worry about any hiccups. So once I did that middle part, I just went from ear to ear parting, you know, in sections of the size that I wanted the braids to be. So here I wanted to show you all, we wanted to do a little transition. So she was getting her beginning parts. So that way, once we finish up the style, we can come back in and show the final results. So I just continue to pre-part and section off those sections. I'm also using Shining Jam to clean up those parts and make sure everything is nice and neat. Okay, and you just keep going from side to side or ear to ear, trying to make each side as even as possible. So I'm trying to line up the left side with the right side as I part from side to side. And as I got to the top, you'll know how to work it, you know, with the direction that you're going. I just kind of parted that straight back to make the rows complete at the top. So once that's all parted out, I'm just going to tuck away the rest of the hair so it won't be in my way as I'm working with my section. And I'm going to take open one section and just split that in 2. So this is going to differ depending on the size of the braids that you're doing. I was going for close to medium, like a, you know, medium large, almost, not nothing too small. So I sectioned off my first subsection and I used that Neat Braid gel to smooth everything out. Now I'm going to begin braiding my braid just like I would a normal braid. So you're going to take 3 strands and braid it as if you was doing a normal plait. All right, and this is not like a beginner braiders video, but there are plenty of videos you can see on YouTube for beginners and show you how to do the basic braid. I would say for this, you want to know how to already do a basic braid for this video. But if you already know how to basic braid, then you're in the right spot. And I'm just going to show you what you need to do to achieve the boho look. So I'm adding in the hair as I braid. And to make it full, you want to add as much boho hair as you can possibly get in the braid. And you know what? I see some people do. I didn't. I see, you know, I didn't count off any specific amount of pieces of boho hair that I wanted to add in. But if that's your preference, you can do that, okay? And for the hair, I did alternate between the loose deep and the water wave, kind of back and forth and putting piece in by piece in, just to make sure that the textures were mixed all the way throughout. Okay, and as you can see, I did have a clip there holding one of the boho pieces, and y'all, it was a struggle to keep them boho pieces up and out the way as you're braiding. Okay, so if you don't have the clip, you can also use the comb. You'll see later in the video, I also use the comb to help, you know, hang the hair over just to keep it out of the way as you braid. You can use the little duckbill, those silver clips, or the retwist clips, anything that can kind of hold the hair back as you're braiding would be great. And keep in mind, I'm also using that shining jam to smooth out the client's hair or whatever pieces of hair need smoothing as I'm braiding. So I'm coming towards the end of the braid. I added in maybe about 10 pieces of the curly hair, and I kept adding that even all the way down to the end of the braid, so that way when I finish, the ends are already curly. And as you can see here, for my parting technique with the boxes, I am using the brick layered technique, where you want a braid to lay directly in between the part on the previous row. Okay, do that make sense? So when that braid hangs, I want it to hang right in that part right there in the middle. Okay, so if you can, you know, you could do different type of parting. Okay, you could free part, you could triangle part. This could go so many different ways, and that's the part I love about hair, is that, you know, it's not one way to do it. There's so many different ways and techniques. You can try so many different things. So I'm just moving on, braiding on, and I'm adding the braiding hair in. I like to add the hair in between my pointer and my thumb finger. You'll see right here, right in between my pointer and my thumb finger, I add the hair in. I also add the boho pieces in the same way, okay? And I like to add the end in that's straight. You'll see the boho piece has a straight end. The end that's straight, I like to add it in at that end, and of course leave the more curlier side hanging out. Okay, as you'll see, I just put that straight end right in the middle. In that middle section of the braid, I put it in there, and I just braid on as normal. Okay, you're going to continue to braid on as normal. The only difference is every now and again you'll stop to add in a piece of hair. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. I took that hair and I added right in between the middle strand, and I'm just going to leave the side hanging out, and I'm going to braid on as a normal braid. Once you get the hang of it, this is super easy. I can say it is a little tedious though. Okay, it's tedious. It takes up quite a bit of time. All right, and so the fuller you want this style, I would say either go with more bundles, or you can add more hair into each individual braid. Okay, so thickness, all of these things vary depending on the size of braid you're doing or what you're going for. Yeah, and so another thing I want to add that I like about doing this style is that the braid, of course you want everything to be neat, you want to give it your best, but the braid doesn't have to be so neat, because the curly boho pieces is supposed to overpower and overtake the braid. So it's supposed to be almost looking like a sew-in. It's at the point where you can't really see the braid. Sometimes a braid might peekaboo or pop out here and there, but the main thing is that the curly pieces is supposed to overpower the entire style, and you won't even see if the braid, you know, wasn't perfect. So just keep that in mind. But as I'm braiding, I do like to start adding the hair in as soon as my hand turns. So as soon as I create that first turnover, I like to start adding the hair in, and you want to do this so it can be full from the root all the way to the end of the braid. All right, and don't forget, continue to add that shining jam to smooth out the client's hair and blend it in well with the braiding hair. And the key to getting your sections nice and slick, you want to take your time and make sure that the sections are very generously saturated with whatever product you're using, and use your fingers and the comb to, you know, genuinely smooth out that section. Okay, be a little aggressive if you have to, just to get it, you know, as sleek as you want it. And so my daughter, she's just kicked back enjoying getting these nice hairdos And you know what? I want to know who can tell us what movie. Comment in the comment section and tell us what movie it is that she's enjoying over there on that phone. All right, so I just continue to braid on, and as you can see here, I'm about halfway through, y'all. So I have 8 children and the house gets busy, so I believe we had to stop to do something. Can't remember what it was, but this was at night. When I first started recording, it was daytime, so it was starting to get late. You know, you started to get tired and things, but we were just pressing our way through here. I was very determined to go ahead and get this thing finished up. So I can say when it comes to pricing and things for this style, you want to definitely make sure you get your worth, okay? Because it's very tedious. It may look like your traditional box braids, but it really takes a lot more to add all these curly pieces in, you know? So I just wanted to show y'all at the end of the braid how I normally do it when I tie the knot. I'm just going to take some of that braiding hair because it's easier to knot up than the boho hair. And I'm going to wrap that around my thumb. And I'm going to use my pointer finger just to push it through that loop that I created. And once I pull that through, I created that knot. And I'm just going to pull on it to secure it, okay? I'm going to do it again. I wrapped it around my thumb. All right, and I pushed it through that loop with my pointer finger, and I just pull on it to make sure everything is tight, okay? And those little straight pieces you see at the end, just cut those off, all right? And you'll see nothing but the curls. So for all the braids, that's what I did. I continued to add in the boho pieces all the way to the end. I tied a knot at the end, and then I cut off the excess braiding hair or the straight pieces of hair. If you don't use braiding hair, you won't have to worry about that. You just want to use the boho pieces and keep continuing to braid that down. That's fine as well. Again, it's so many different ways to do things. Try it out, see what works best for you, and go from there. So now that we're in the front, I really want the front to be giving, like I needed to give that volume and those curls to be there. So I made sure that I bulked it up when it came to the curly pieces in the front, okay? I added them babies in so that they can hang, they can dazzle, and give me that fullness that I was looking for. So I'm just teasing with the hair, and I'm saying like, oh, this is coming out cute, okay? And at this point, it was about 4 in the morning. So excuse my daughter, you might see her looking sleepy or yawning and things like that. But again, I was determined to go ahead and get this thing done. So thank God for her. She really pressed through. And yeah, we did it. And I just like to add, if this is your first time doing something, or maybe your second or third, just don't beat yourself up, okay? It's gonna come together. Practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the better you get. So look, y'all, this is the final results. I say this look was really eating up. Like, it came out super cute. You have that mixed texture. You have the loose wave and the water wave all blended in there together. And y'all, look at the different styles that you can put this in. This is not even half of it. It's so many other styles that you could put together with this style, but it came out super cute, super full. I mean, the hair is just so shiny and luscious. Like, it just was the overall, 10 out of 10 recommend for the YWIGS Hair, y'all. Listen, don't waste no time. If you having second thoughts, look no further. Go ahead and get online and get you some. And I am going to add an insert of that transition that she was doing, you know, that I showed y'all earlier. So y'all can see the outcome of that. But yeah, this was the final results. Look how full it is, bouncy. I mean, the parts was giving. They was giving squeaky clean, okay? So here's a clip of the transition. And she did her own edges, so I didn't get that on record, but all of it came together so well. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. And I truly hope that you all were able to get some type of information or inspiration from the video. If you have any questions, please comment it. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next video. Bless you for watching.